So today we have Sam, uber fan. He's our biggest fan. He has tattoos of us on his body. Where are the tattoos of us on your body located?
I can't tell you that, sorry.
Okay, so it's below the waist, but above the knees. It's either in the groinal region or the grundle. Underneath.
I would like if someone were to get a tattoo of us. Here's my tattoo design idea. I'm not a designist or whatever you would call that.
Tattooist?
Sure. This is part of my language I'm inventing again for crazy people. I'm on the left butt cheek of the buttocks.
So am I on the right?
You're on the right, and then like.
Ooh, can we kiss? But
I was gonna say,
when poop happens, we're no longer kissing.
Well, then it just seems like we're both kissing opposite sides.
No, it looks like we're threesoming, but for your poo.
This got weirder than I thought it was gonna, and I started at butt tattoo, so whatever.
Well, you never know. Yeah, you never know what people are into, man.
I thought I had peaked at denim conversation that time I talked about denim for about an hour.
No,
I think I'm almost there. I think I'm...
No, that's good.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You want me to talk about denim again?
No, I want Sam to tell us about himself. What's one fact nobody else knows about you that you will share with us? Not even your closest friends. I killed a man in fucking Mexico. Please don't.
I once set my house on fire when I was a kid.
You didn't tell your parents?
I told them that I just came home and it was like that.
Do they not know to this day?
I don't think so. It wasn't like a real big thing. It was just like a small little corner of the carpet.
How fiery?
How much fire and how much of the corner?
Yeah. Percentage of the corner.
Like, it was only like maybe 3 square feet.
Oh, so a man could stand in that corner. Was there a man in that corner before the fire? Did you? Okay, so you didn't murder someone with fire.
I was just that's 3 square feet. You could probably fit 2 people in there.
Were you trying to hide something? Was there evidence in the corner that you burned?
Nope, I was being a stupid child and using a soldering iron on the carpeting.
Hold on. How old were you? We need some background details. How old were you?
I want to say like 12, somewhere in there.
Okay, so 12 isn't too young to have access to a soldering iron.
12 is old enough to know how to function a soldering iron, but also old enough to know carpet never requires soldering, so...
Yeah, I'm interested. What was when your 12-year-old brain looked at the soldering iron in your hand, and then to the carpet, and then I presume back to the hand, and then the light bulb went off, what did that light bulb say to you?
I mean, I didn't realize that it was already fucking on fire. I wasn't trying to solder the carpet. I was just soldering on the carpet.
What were you soldering on the carpet with nothing underneath it?
It was some little, like, toy robot kit. It was like, hey, your first electrical engineering project sort of thing.
Okay. Are you currently an engineer in real life?
Software engineer, not a...
Close enough! It worked out! You can...
Only almost burned my house down.
Yeah, that's fine. Did you put it out yourself? You must have. What was your go-to? More solder?
He programmed a robot to fix it. Didn't you hear what he does for a living? Goddamn.
I'll take credit for anything, I guess.
Was it water, or did you, like, jump on it like a man over a grenade?
No, there was like this old shitty towel that like our dog laid on that I just grabbed and threw over it.
That's better.
That's less exciting. It'd be more exciting if you had several tiny cups of water and you ran back and forth comedically to put this out.
Was there anything in the corner that could have conceivably lit on fire spontaneously, or are your parents idiots?
Or do they love you so much they avoided it?
I honestly don't remember the exact excuse I had, but I don't think there was anything that should have been on fire.
No outlet?
See, I
think there was, and I think I blamed it on that, but it's like all I think was over there was like a lamp or something.
See, I've been 12. If a fire ignites near a 12-year-old, I assume it's their fault.
Yeah.
I almost started a fire as a kid.
Did you?
What I did was, we were moving into a new house, and we, had, like...
The one that I know?
Yeah, we had, like, a hanging sort of industrial light that was just, like, on, it had a clamp on it. because there were no lights in the room, but it
okay.
was on my closet door handle, and it fell off, and I didn't think to do anything about
So
it.
you left it on the
So
floor.
I left it on the floor, and I assume to this day I'd not been in that house in a very long time, but it burned the shit out of the carpet, and there was like a very clear, like, this is where the carpet melted from the heat.
Last time we were in your house, do you remember what we did? That sounds sexual. Do you remember what we did?
We rearranged shit in
Yeah.
my dad's basement because he has weird OCD about things. I wanted to see if you would notice.
Which leads me to my next question. How many people with mental illness have you tortured? Because we are both at 1 right now.
Oh, you're only at 1? Oh. Okay.
Oh, well.
I'm sorry, you guys got me beat. I think I am the mentally, disturbed.
I
person
thought you
that
were a
got tortured.
patron.
I am.
Okay, that's like a prerequisite. Have you ever accidentally or on purpose fucked with someone with an actual diagnosed mental illness? If so, please give us $1.
Also, if you have a mental illness, does this count as for our totals for fucking with someone with a mental illness?
Yes.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, as you were saying that, I do actually have a really lame story of me fucking with someone
Yes!
with mental illness.
That's the best kind of story with fucking with someone with a mental
Okay,
illness.
did they have it coming?
kind of.
Because Hugo's dad
but-
had it coming, so it's not cruel.
Yeah, I was just, at a college party, and this guy was being a total fucking asshole. I didn't know him at all, and we were all super drunk. And he had said something to, peeve me off, and I just yelled, "Would this fucking retard just leave me alone?"
Oh.
Turns out
Plot
he
twist.
was pretty autistic. I didn't realize that till the
Okay,
next
that
day.
isn't retarded.
See, retarded. Those are different words. Retarded.
I
and
know,
autistic.
but
Retarded
trust me,
people
the
get
crowd
medals.
didn't take it the same way.
That, you know what, though? You probably deserved the jeers there, right?
Yeah. I'll own up to that.
Yeah, but that's fine. But you didn't... That's not really, like, mental anguish you caused him. You just made a bunch of people
I hope
think
not.
you were the asshole. Which I do... If he was being as big as an asshole as you say, the fact that you flipped that to make yourself the asshole is actually pretty impressive.
Congratulations, you rallied that entire party around what a dick you were. You
It wouldn't be the
saved
first
the
time.
party.
Saved it. He walks out of the party, pops the collar on his leather jacket, and goes, "Another party saved." Right, Steven in
Wow, that's
black
definitely
spray
me.
paint on the door. Steven was here,
Steven.
or Steve.
Sam, you mean?
No. You don't say your fucking real name.
Fine, then, whatever. Fine.
I feel like Steven has more of a... Like, a Steve obviously would write on the door with spray paint, right?
Steven, it's like,
Steven's
oh,
like,
yes.
wait, he was wearing a tie when he did that? Yeah. No, you don't write Sam.
They'll know,
They'll
you,
know it was you.
you fool.
Come on.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite on your level of asshole, I guess.
No,
Very few people are.
You should be. You should catch up. So, how did you first find the show? And why did you stay? Was it
So I was-
Stockholm?
A little bit
Did
of
it
that.
make you feel a little guilty?
So I was trying to remember on the way home from work today. I think I was actually watching something by Aaron Ra about the Noah story.
Mm.
And
The chip
just
track
my
pop-up?
no, it was actually before that. It was when you guys first did Noah in the Bible.
Wow, that's
And-
early. You're an OG fan.
Yeah, I've been around for a while.
You're,
But yeah, I caught you guys kind of in the tail end of my sort of angry atheist-y phase.
Oh,
And,
that's good.
yeah. I've since become an adult.
Yeah. Angry atheist phase is fun. Have you ever made anyone cry during your angry atheist phase like Hugo did?
Yes,
Good.
my mother.
Oh.
Okay. Did you say something very hurtful, or was it the one time I've made someone cry due to my atheism was asking the question, if the person you love most dies and goes to hell, is it heaven when you get there? And it took about 3 minutes of discussing that for them to weep. So it wasn't me being an asshole, it was just like, oh fuck, My world is
Yeah.
crumbling. You actually were just mean once, Hugo.
Yeah.
Were you just mean to your mom, or did you just like... Was she like, oh, your soul, oh no?
It was kind of a little of both because, admittedly, we were both drunk at the time, and we tend to get kind of mean to each other when we're drunk.
Do you get drunk with your
But-
parents a lot? Is that a thing?
Like twice a year, maybe.
Okay, so it's not a lot.
I
So,
heard ice in a
Yeah.
glass earlier. Are you drunk right now? Are we your parents? Is this an intervention?
No. I did make myself a stiff drink before this, just
Ooh.
because I'm, socially awkward. But...
Called it.
what's your drink of choice before we get into how you traumatized and hurt your mother forever?
Oh, gosh. Probably my favorite ever is the Sazerac, and if you've never heard that,
I've had a
congratulations.
Sazerac.
All right,
It's got
all right.
whiskey in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whiskey, a little bit of absinthe.
Absinthe? So you have absinthe on hand in your home?
More than one bottle, yes.
Okay, I have to ask this following question. Do not be offended. Do you own a fedora and a body pillow?
Neither.
Good! Okay. All right, we may continue. All right. 'Cause,
Alrighty,
the Venn diagram of those who have absinthe and every season of, like,
Yeah.
Evangelion on DVD are
See,
it's almost a circle.
Yeah. I just have bottles of all liquor, so it's just
respect
kind of
that.
a coincidence.
Okay.
I respect that. I'm a big whiskey guy, so I can't believe I've had that drink which no one else has had except for me and Sam.
Not a weed, just an alcoholic.
What's your go-to whiskey?
My go-to brand of whiskey,
Sure.
or my favorite drink with whiskey in it.
Favorite brand of whiskey?
Okay, so usually Jameson, but right now I'm on that home brew Traverse City whiskey, which I don't drink very often, so it takes me a long time to get through bottles. So I've had this since I moved in. It's been over almost.
Nice.
It'll be a year in September, but
Isn't that cherry whiskey or whatever?
yeah, it's
that
really,
you've
really,
used
really
as a
good.
prop like 5 times.
yeah, it's super
Yeah.
good. But Jameson's just really smooth. But my go-to drink is an old fashioned.
I don't know what's in an old fashioned.
I think it.
Old fashioned is whiskey, simple syrup, orange bitters,
Oh,
a
now you
large.
guys are back.
Oh,
Sorry,
did
the
you?
audio cut out.
Oh, I was telling. I'm a mixologist. I'm not. I was telling Hugo what an old fashioned was. It's a whiskey, simple syrup, orange bitters, and some nice Bordeaux cherries, and a large piece of ice, and maybe a splash of water. And yeah, real good.
Close. Usually it's aromatic bitters, but orange bitters work well too.
See, I don't like the aromatic as well as I like the orange. Maybe an orange.
Do them
peel.
both. It's wonderful.
Anyway, so you were drunk
Yeah.
and you ruined your mom's life.
Yeah. So, I can't remember exactly what we were arguing about, but like she, whenever she gets drunk, she tries to, push the Jesus on me,
Of course.
and she
As
was,
Jesus would have wanted.
Well, absolutely, yeah, because he's a great guy, but. Like, she had been saying something about how he's just the nicest, most wonderful thing you can have in your life, and I started naming off, like, kids with cancer and eyeball parasites and all these terrible things that he would be directly responsible for.
Correct.
And she just started bawling and like, how could you say that about him?
Can't you love him in spite of these things?
No, you're supposed to just plug your ears and pretend he's not responsible.
She probably thinks. Does she believe Satan has a direct, access
Oh, yes.
to the earth? Okay, so
Yeah.
she's Team Satan. Team Satan believer. How about that? Because she's
Something
obviously
like that.
anti-Satan.
Yeah.
How does she reconcile? This is always interesting. I don't know if you ever asked your mom this, but I always find this interesting because I get a lot of different answers.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile Satan even existing in a world where God can snap his fingers and make Satan not do that?
I've tried to nail this down with her, and it's really, really difficult to get a solid answer because she's definitely one of those that just doesn't like to think too hard about the kind of ugly bits of it, and she just sort of says well, that's just how it is,
Right.
that's just how it has to be,
That's what I
and I'm just
figured.
well, why? And then she usually said, you should have been a politician, you know that, and then that's the end of that conversation.
Oh my
sounds-
god.
sounds
That would
about
drive
right.
me insane. I'd be like, wow, you should have been better educated, you dumb bitch.
That sounds about right.
Oh, god.
Yeah, my mom, not formally educated, and is very opinionated, and is usually very stubborn. Not religious, however, does believe in ghosts. I can't talk her down from the ghost thing, but since she didn't have an actual conviction for God in any sense, really, I've had this discussion with her before, and she's kind of gone through the motions of apologetics, and totally come out the other side like, yeah, I'm with you. That makes sense. I don't know why anyone believes that. So it's weird for me that she can't even hear it about ghosts. Like when I bring up ghosts, she's like, "Oh, you just don't. How do you know?" It's like, Mom, I love you. Why are you dumb about ghosts? Don't be dumb about ghosts.
I assume that's her hope for like after death. Like,
I don't think so. She doesn't really apply it to herself. It's always other people, like her dad. It might be about her dad.
It still implies like something after.
You might be
Even
right.
if it's not like directly ghosts, it still implies some sort of existence outside of the physical.
Yeah, I don't know. She's never couched it in those terms, but maybe that's what she's thinking back in the back of her head.
Well, I'm not even necessarily saying it's something your mom has sat down and thought like,
you know what, Mom, if you're listening, I love you very much. I can't imagine you think about this very often.
No. It might be
not that that's a bad thing. A lot of people are happier for it. I gotta imagine most people that contemplate existence to the extent we do, if they have any anxieties whatsoever, I'm sure you went through this coming out of Christianity.
Yeah.
Like, it must tear you apart to be like, there's nothing!
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, yeah. That's part of the... that's part of the reason I have so many anxiety issues, I think. Not because...
Currently today?
Yeah. Because I grew up in a very school I went to was very fundamentalist, so much of my foundational understanding of the world was based in that.
Yeah.
That when it was, gone, I had no, defenses built up about, so I'm, still trying to develop basic shit to not be freaking out all the fucking time.
That makes sense. Did you go to a school like that?
Talking to me?
Yeah.
I didn't go to a school like that, but my household was incredibly religious. Like, we went to, Sunday school all the time, went to, Bible camp during the summers, we went to, the Wednesday night special sermon shit,
Oh, nice.
I was pretty embroiled in it for most of my life.
Do you have any horror stories from that? Or really cool stories? So, do you have, friends, you tell the story from Bible camp? Is there that?
See, the Bible camp was actually pretty low-key, and I don't have too much about that, but, the one thing that always sticks out to me, and compared to some people, this is nothing, but, it horrified me as, a 13, 14-year-old. Me and my brother showed up to, was it, the middle-age Sunday school, whatever, and we showed up, 5 minutes late, because, whatever, we were late, and we hadn't been there the week before. Mm-hmm. And so we sat down, and the youth pastor stops what he's doing and points to us and says, "Well, gentlemen, glad you decided to actually show up this week," in front of, a crowd of, 200 kids our age. And then, proceeded to say, it's expected that you should be here on a regular basis, and I'm ashamed of you, or I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was he called us out on the spot in front of the entire congregation, and it was holy shit, dude, that was not called for.
That's healthy to do to developing young people.
Yeah, make them feel like pariahs.
Shame them. Good.
And he started a little Bible, what would you call it, just a after lunch prayer session thing in my high school that I went to twice. And I went once the first week, and it was basically the same sort of thing. I didn't come until the fourth or fifth week, and he did the same fucking thing. This was maybe 3 months later. He just called me out, stared right at me. "Well, where have you been?" This was an optional thing. I just showed up because I felt like it, dude. Chill the fuck out.
Were you a believer at that point? Or were you just...
I was, but that was when the first kind of cracks were starting to appear, and that really kind of just hammered on it. Wow, not only does this not make a lot of sense, but these people are fucking assholes, and that really hurried my development along.
It does help if everyone's kind of stroking your ego constantly. for you to stick around in that scenario. Because a lot of people don't question it because the community is so strong, but if the community is not there, then it really kind of doesn't have any redeeming factors, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Because when I was younger, there was different people involved, and they were, in their defense, really great people and were very supportive and would be really nice to me and my brother and whatever. And this guy came in a couple years later and was just a condescending prick, and that was the start of my exit.
I always wonder if people like that ever find out, because I've known people like that in my life too. Like
find out that you're not religious?
No, not specifically. I just mean people like that. Do they ever get told, like, you're part of the reason people realize?
Oh, I told him.
Bullshit. Oh, good.
Did you? Did you have like your standing on your soapbox moment in front of the crowd?
No.
Did you like walk away with your fist in the air?
So like, this was several years later. This was probably right, around the same time that my, mom ended up crying. It might have even been because of that. Dude reached out to me on Facebook and just tried to add me and sent me a bunch of messages. And I sent him back a few saying, you have always been a condescending prick. You're also an idiot, and I don't want anything to do with this. Please leave me alone.
I think maybe he just wanted to make out a little bit. He seemed to have a thing for you. Years.
It could be.
It was unrequited, dude.
As you're saying this, the whole one-on-one Bible study thing we did for a while makes a lot more sense.
Wait. You have one-on-one Bible sessions with this guy? Was it like at his parents' house, and he's like, we'll just shut the
God, no.
We'll shut the door, it's fine. Does he have a heavy lisp, and did he try to get you?
No.
Why the 1950s predatory gay stereotype?
I wasn't thinking rape. I was thinking like convert. Like hey, have you ever considered dick? Like you know how and not the stereotypical way. Have you ever seen I Love You Man? How Andy Samberg's character he like goes for the straights? That's like his Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Okay.
Yeah. Fortunately, we did this in a diner near my house, so it was in public. But
there's nothing.
Still,
I don't think there would be anything more awkward than like having to turn somebody down alone in their bedroom, regardless of gender. Like if they're like, "Ooh, do you wanna do sex?" Because that's how they would say it to me.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's how it happens for everybody, right?
Oh God,
do you want to do sex?
Have you seen the show Preacher?
I have. I have not seen. Is the second season out yet?
Yeah,
third
season's out.
Oh shit! I've only seen season 1.
Have you seen the scene that explains butthole face kid?
No.
Okay, never mind.
All right. Okay.
All right, now I'm intrigued.
People who've seen the show, you'll know what I'm talking about.
I have to look that up.
Fucked up.
Oh wait, no! He ate a shotgun.
Yeah, but like, have you seen the one where they actually show it happening?
Oh, isn't that first season?
I think that might be second season.
Oh, then I missed it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, don't eat a shotgun, kids. It turns your face into a butthole.
Or kills you.
Yeah, but I feel like butthole face is worse. Well, you don't experience having a butthole face. He was trying to kill himself too.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, God, I don't know where to go from the. You brought up suicide, and now we're just stuck in that.
You could have chose butthole face to focus on.
Are we just gonna ignore the fact that Jesus suicide by cop whole situation?
That is my favorite twist on that story ever. It's just it perfectly explains the whole thing, and I love it.
It's like if Rodney King meant it. Like if he meant to get beat up, it's the same shit.
It's not a bad comparison.
He also, when he got caught, guy's ear got cut off, and Jesus was like, "No," and he put the ear back on the Roman guy. So it'd be like if you were gonna suicide by cop, but a cop's ear got cut off, and you also put his ear back on.
Well, that was in the
just
woods,
being
right?
Overly dramatic.
That was in the Garden of Gethsemane, I want to say.
Yeah, it looked like the woods in the movie.
Okay.
But yeah, it was.
It's a garden. Looks like the woods. There are trees.
Just because there's that's an orchard.
You're an orchard.
Sick burn.
Yeah, you got me. Fuck. How are you liking? Have you been watching the show recently? Have you had time?
Yeah.
So how do you like the Jordan Peterson stuff?
At first, I wasn't really big into it, mostly because Jordan Peterson falls under the category of people like him, William Lane Craig, a bunch of those other guys who like to say a lot of words but don't ever actually say anything.
Yeah.
And they drive me fucking nuts. And just listening to his writing gives me a migraine.
So had you been introduced to him before us?
I'd heard
'Cause
his
he's pretty
name. I
famous.
didn't know much about him.
Okay.
I'd seen some quotes by him, and I'm like, wow, you seem like a douche, and that was about the end of it.
Oh, I like the way you think.
It's just I think it's because when I was a kid, I was sort of really interested in a lot of these guys who were very like pseudo-intellectual and try to make all these cases for being a Christian, which, like you've argued, is definitely what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's just now that I see it from the other side, I can't stomach it. It just drives me nuts.
That's what I thought. Like, and I've never been religious, but it irritated me how obvious it was, and no one seemed to realize it. I felt like the only, like, a sane person with a straitjacket on in the asylum. Like, I'm not crazy. That's what everybody says.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I haven't, read the book, but, like, I follow along the series, and, like, you guys are just screaming, like, why don't you believe me? And, like, yeah, it's pretty
You can
fucking
read the
obvious.
book.
Like,
it's kind of like the Bible. Like, when you read the Bible, when you actually read it, and you don't just, like, listen to other people, it's like, well, yeah, that's stupid. It's the same thing, only it's worse now, because this is like Jesus being able to walk around and be like, yeah, seriously, I am the Son of God. When really now it's just Jordan Peterson going, seriously, my daughter says you can eat meat and cure depression.
What's his daughter's meat thing? You've mentioned this.
I just said it.
She thinks meat is like a paleo diet.
A meat diet, not a paleo diet.
Okay.
It's cooked.
it's the opposite of that.
Yeah, it's a meat diet, and it's a carnivore diet. And
Didn't you post that on Twitter at some point?
I
or
did.
something?
It's real stupid.
Yeah.
And yeah, it cures depression, and it's a good diet. It makes you fit.
And as the
Source,
therapist,
please.
he's promoting this because it's his daughter. Wow, what a trash person.
Yes, he's a bad guy. I don't like him. Who is your favorite person to hate right now?
Favorite person to hate?
You can't say Donald Trump. That's too easy.
He's a good candidate, but
No, he's a good candidate.
Honestly,
for hating. Not a good candidate.
Okay.
So, yeah, no kidding. Right now, I think my go-to is Lee Strobel, because
that's a sneaky pick.
Yeah, it's a little more obvious if you follow Scathing Atheist on a weekly basis, because they're currently reading through his book, and it makes me want to vomit. But
yeah, it's not great.
Yeah,
I'm so glad we didn't decide to do his book.
We might.
Oh,
we're gonna
God,
after
so
Peterson. We're gonna do some other books.
See, I've been getting a lot of people asking me to do. Who's that guy that went to jail for a little bit? He did like the Hillary is Satan.
Kent Oven.
No.
No.
D'Souza?
Yeah, Dinesh
D'Souza.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's a
Yes.
douchebag.
Yep.
That guy's a huge douchebag.
That's what gets me. Is he has the gall to come out and be like, the government was persecuting me. You broke fucking campaign finance law, you piece of shit, and you got caught and went to jail. And then
Details.
And then the fucking shitty president pardoned you, which accepting a pardon is, by the way, a legal admission of guilt.
Yep.
It's... Oh, God. He pisses me off. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Well, don't be sorry.
Which movie did people want us to do his? Or did he write a book?
I don't remember. It was whatever his latest one was. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Trump's America, was that it?
I think that's the one. I feel like we'd get DMCA'd into oblivion.
It
Maybe.
seems likely.
It seems very likely.
Fuck him.
Definitely. Fuck him. God, I really don't want to do that though. Is there anyone else like Jordan Peterson that we could just instead? Like, can we just read Ian Miles' Tong tweets for 3 hours?
Has
instead?
Ray Comfort written a book?
Ray Comfort can't write.
Yes, hasn't he? Or am I thinking of?
I'm sure he's written.
I'm sure he's written
Yeah,
stuff.
or yeah.
There's
What's
no
his
way.
face? Steve Shives did the
Steven
read of-
Shives. Does he still do the
Yeah.
Atheist Read series?
Yeah. think
I
so.
don't know. I stopped following him when he started being an asshole.
Yeah. R.I.P. Steve.
Yeah, Ray Comfort's written some stuff, but not.
Has he, or was he there dictating to someone writing?
Like in 1990, he wrote a book called God Doesn't Believe in Atheists.
I think you mean
Oh
1990.
God, yeah.
For some reason,
God doesn't believe in atheists.
I accidentally Googled Ratty Comfort, not Ray.
It does. R-A-T-Y comfort.
And
it
then-
still showed up.
When I look, it says, like, people also ask, where do rats like being petted? And I was like, why is that a related question to fucking Ray Comfort?
That's hilarious. That's probably there if you just type in Ray Comfort anyway.
That's just what Ray does. He Googles himself, and then he has lots of pet rats. And he's like, where do my rats want to be petted?
I was just calling Ray a rat, but
No,
that's
I know
fine.
you were.
Oh,
I like
right.
to imagine he has lots of pet rats, though. He's like,
Okay.
I love them. They're my family. That's my best New Zealand accent.
Do you think Ray Comfort has ever had a homosexual thought?
What
Oh, God,
define
yes.
that?
Like, I wonder what it'd be like to suck that guy's dick, or whatever.
Yes.
Like an explicit gay act thought
My
that he
my
explored.
personal belief is that his whole like shtick of pretending to be higher mightier than everyone is just him running away from his gay self, like fucking Tom Cruise running away
See,
from his.
if he is gay, it makes his story so much sadder.
Yeah.
Because
It
he
is.
doesn't get to be gay because he hates himself. I don't think.
But he's
not
also
really,
an asshole.
Is he? He's super big ass. Is he anti-homosexual?
I actually don't
Oh
know.
yeah, he made
Oh yeah, he made that movie
yeah.
we reviewed. Remember?
I was gonna
What
say
was
you
it?
guys fucking did it.
It was the anti-gay movie where there was an elevator and remember.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that was him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
We've done like 30, 40
Fuck
movies
you,
at
Ray.
this point.
Well, no, I just remember the actor, and I forgot that it was a movie that Ray was like in. He was like outside of doing Man on the Street stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was the movie.
Yeah.
So I separate them in my head. Yeah. So he is anti-gay. Shit. I guess he's got to be though.
Yeah.
It's kind of the
He's
job.
pretty literalist.
Yeah.
As far as the Bible's concerned. So yeah.
Okay, so this always comes up. They're kind of connected. Do you think like if, a night on the town, who's more fun, Ray or Kirk?
Oh God.
Who's more fun, out on the town? Because Kirk, for the record, will not take a role, or well, he will take a role, but he won't kiss a female coworker. Like in a scene, like in that scene, Fireproof, he wouldn't kiss the lady because it wasn't his wife. I don't think he will have a drink on camera. I don't think he'll.
See, I'll say Kirk Cameron.
Do you think so? Because if he doesn't have stuff on camera, I don't think.
I think Kirk Cameron would disagree with you if like, let's say he's your wingman. He'd be like, I really disagree with what you're doing tonight. But he's a good enough friend that he'd be like, but I'll come anyway. And
So you think
and
Kirk
I'll
Cameron...
I'll help you pull in all the growing pains fans, bitches. Like he's like,
You don't think Ray would wingman me?
Ray would wingman you, but no one knows who Ray Comfort is enough to like want to. No one's like, wow, look at this guy hanging out with Ray Comfort. I want to fuck him. I'm not saying that happens often when you're friends with Kirk Cameron. I'm saying statistically it happens more often than with Ray Comfort. You get that.
So you get residual. What's the word I'm looking for?
Residual growing pains.
Vag.
Yeah.
Or well,
Or
not
dick,
not or dick. I don't think they'd condone.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Kirk
they
Cameron
wouldn't abide.
Kirk Cameron will get you laid solely on the fact that he was fictional friends with Leonardo DiCaprio on television. Fact.
You know too much about growing pains.
You don't know enough.
See, I gotta disagree purely on the fact that I think it would be just infinitely entertaining to hear Ray Comfort drunk with his crazy accent, just rambling about shit at the bar at 3 in the morning.
Do you think he goes home and like just ties one on?
He's from New Zealand.
I would imagine he has one or two. I can't see him getting drunk. He seems too up his own ass for that.
I would be very shocked if he didn't have a drink when he comes home at night. I'm not saying he gets drunk, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'd assume he like has a beer or something.
He has a beer.
Yeah, I would
he might
agree
have
with
a
that.
Foster's.
Whatever. That's Australia, not
I know
New
it is,
Zealand.
but it's the only beer I know from down there.
Also, that's probably not even really Australian. That's probably a marketing thing. I mean, it's probably from Australia, but you know what I mean? Like, in the same
I don't
way
know.
that, like...
Ricky Gervais likes Foster's.
Okay.
He's not Australian,
No.
but
It's
tied.
it's a colony, and he's British!
Yeah, it's tied.
So that's
It's got
related
ties.
somehow.
It's like how, oh, I don't know. No, never mind.
Nope, bailing out of that simile. Fuck that simile.
All of those similes that ran through my head ended up being racist at the end on accident. It was all about sweatshops.
Okay.
And all of them, all the punchlines were...
How the...
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, I get about 3 jokes at the same time almost always, and I have to sift before it...
One of them... That's
And usually one of them is fine.
One of them's okay, one of them's maybe not that funny, and one of them you just can't say out loud. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Fair enough.
It's like every joke in my head is like one that Carlos Mencia stole.
You know Carlos Mencia? Not
Isn't
his
Carlos or Mencia?
name. No, what's his fucking name?
I don't
Let me look
know.
it
The
up.
same thing with the Larry the Cable Guy. He's from Minnesota.
Yeah.
He talks like a Minnesotan.
But see, here's the thing. Larry the Cable Guy is more clearly, I think, a character in that
I would agree.
even that fans of Larry the Cable Guy be like, yeah, I mean, he's playing it up, even if you
You're done.
But like Carlos Mencia was like super steering into the Hispanic comedian, but like that's like not
So
him at all.
I unironically
Oh, yeah.
liked the Blue Collar Comedy Tour when it first came out.
So did I. Carlos Mencia named Ned Wholeness. Ned Wholeness.
Yeah, there's no
that sounds
world in which
purebred.
that guy gets famous. So good for Carlos.
Eh.
Fair enough.
Did you like the White Collar Comedy Tour, or was that the devil? Did your parents not allow?
I can't remember what they thought of it. We never really came up in our house. I thought it was kind of funny, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. I kind of was pretty, like, against the whole, like, redneck as a fashion trend thing, so I kind of avoided
Oh
it.
yeah, I didn't identify as such, but I grew up in a place with farms everywhere. You're in Wisconsin, right? If I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
So this is you have cheese curds and beer, and so rednecks are not rare to you,
They're the majority, yes.
right? So yeah, I just. By the way, squeaky cheese curds. Is there anything better? No.
They're pretty great.
The answer
but...
is no. I agree. Thank you for agreeing with me. I will browbeat you into this answer.
I would never say no to them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when you have cheese curds in front of you, do they, like, in bars, do they just dump cheese curds in a bowl? Or is it peanuts
See,
there, too?
I fucking wish it was. They're too fucking expensive. None of the bars do that. You can certainly buy them at pretty much any bar here.
But all of you have a cow.
Can we
The family cow.
Can we open a bar and we'll just call it Cheese Bar, and it'll be a bar, but we'll also have varieties of cheeses?
There would be so many farts in that bar.
So,
That'd be fine.
literally
Fart
last weekend...
lounge.
Not the cheese bar, but there is the cheese restaurant in, I want to say it was Baraboo, Wisconsin.
That
visiting
sounds
there?
cold. Where's that? Up north?
No, it's, I don't even know where
Baraboo?
Wisconsin Dells is. It's kind of like the lower middle of the state, kind of a little north of Madison.
Okay, so that's not,
Baraboo is nowhere, but...
That's... Okay. That's, it's still cold.
Yeah, it's
Anything
Wisconsin.
next to Lake Michigan is cold as balls. And then
tell
the
me
further
about it.
away you get from Lake Michigan, it gets colder anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, seriously, up next to, like, the northwest part of that state is actual hell.
Yeah.
It's where the
Yeah.
snow giants come from. It's where we built the big ice wall to keep out the fucking White Walkers.
I don't trust Wisconsin. It birthed Rich Evans. I don't.
Did it birth Rich Evans? Is he actual
Really? He's from
Wisconsinite?
there. Okay.
Is he?
I know they filmed there, but is he from there? Because the other two sound like it, but he doesn't.
I don't know.
Maybe it's
I
just
guess
because
I
he's
never
so
looked into it
squeaky.
that much.
He's from there. I don't know if he was born there. I guess that was
Yeah,
a great assumption on my part.
Rich, since you're listening, were you born?
Rich, I love you. I want to have a Tums festival with you.
Tums Festival. That was good. Good callback. Okay.
Solid.
Tums Festival. If anyone doesn't get it, go watch
Where-
Red Letter Media.
Where is Red Letter Media located? Are they in Baraboo as well?
No,
They-
they're
no, they're in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee?
Yeah.
That seems
I
like the most generic, we're not actually from here place in Wisconsin, you could say.
I have literally driven around Milwaukee and found a few places where they've shot, so I know they're at least regularly there.
Hold on.
You ever just drive around and look for warehouses? Because it's got to be one of them.
Okay, not
they-
their filming warehouse.
No, but I'm saying, like, that's what... I'm a creepy motherfucker. That's what I would do.
Hold on, though. You said you drove around Milwaukee and found places that... Were you stalking Rich Evans?
I mean, that was part of it, obviously, but it was we were doing other things.
Like stalking Mike?
That's easy. Find a bar or a liquor store.
Yeah.
What's the other one's name?
Jay?
Jay! Fuck.
Yep.
That's the one. He's my favorite.
You like Jay the best and you don't know his name. That's odd.
Well, because I can't say Rich. Because you dibsed him.
Okay.
You did put dibs on him. Why do we abuse Rich?
I don't know.
He doesn't deserve that.
Because that's the precedent that his best friends have set for us.
Yeah.
And we're not his best friends. We
No.
can't possibly treat him better.
No.
No, that
Yeah.
makes sense. What's your favorite part about Wisconsin?
Uh,
Don't you say the Packers, you little bitch.
I don't like the Packers.
Woo!
I don't like football.
Hey, that's fine with me. As long as you're not a Packers fan, you're fine. We're
I
not
could
doing
probably stand on
poppers.
my-
Put
I
them
just wanted to
down.
look at it because I hadn't looked at the label on the poppers.
Fuck. All right.
I could probably stand on my roof and see the stadium from here, but I've been to a half of one game in my
Oh, do you
entire
live
life.
in Green Bay?
Yep.
Oh. And you don't like football. Is it
Nope.
because it's so popular there? You're like, fuck you, society.
No, I didn't grow up here. I moved here like 2-3 years ago.
Oh.
But I don't know, something about a bunch of adult masculine men running around in tights, groping each other, just never quite, appealed to me.
See, you need to be a little gayer, and you'll really appreciate it. See,
you know
Hugo,
what? And that's on me.
Hugo, definitely gayer than me, likes musicals, doesn't like football either. So maybe I'm the gay one.
I was just
If
gonna
there's-
say, I think it's you.
If there's two of us here on the Kinsey scale. One of us is gayer than the other.
Me.
I want to be
Kinsey
though.
scale. I've never heard of that before.
I assume it's you. It's not me.
It's me.
God.
Kinsey. You haven't heard of the Kinsey scale? You said?
You haven't heard of the
I can't
Kinsey
say
scale?
that I have.
He was a sex.
It's like 0 to 6 or 1 to 7.
Yeah, he was a sex researcher in the, I don't know, what was it, like the 60s?
50s, 60s, something like that.
when it was very taboo, and he developed a scale to say no one's either entirely gay or entirely straight. You're a 1 through 6, and 1 is like entirely straight, and 6 is like entirely gay, and everyone falls somewhere on it or something like that.
So I expect the whole spectrum thing.
Yeah, it's a
probably
spectrum of
came from-
sexuality.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's pretty accurate, but what a bummer.
You're so fucking weird.
How is it not a bummer that I could be swimming in a sea of dicks if I wanted?
I don't understand
but
the
I don't.
sentiment that you would want to.
A sea
if
of
you're not.
dicks?
Yeah.
But I'm not. No. I want to.
But why? If you
Because I
don't?
could be swimming in a sea of dicks.
I disagree. I don't think you do as well amongst...
I mean, couldn't you like
What?
slippery
I get
slope
solicited
this
all the
into
time.
like animals too? Since some of them you'd probably fit in.
Animals aren't even trying to be sexy. That's on them.
Have you seen a peacock? That's like their thing.
Trying to be sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might got me there.
Okay.
Yeah, I still don't want to fuck it.
I think you
What's
like...
that on the Kinsey scale? B? For bestiality?
They need to add another dimension to the scale.
No, but I always thought, like, I don't know, it's like having more, not options necessarily, because it's not like you're more attracted to more types of people necessarily, just different genitalia opens you up to, like, you're a nice guy, I'm sure there's other nice guys out there that have dongs, maybe I would like that dong if I were gay, or bi, in this scenario I'm bi. So like the option for that sounds nice, but I just there's nothing there for me. It doesn't get me going. And that's
I
why
literally was on the receiving end of that conversation once, and it was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, like I've been uncomfortable before. You know what? I have actually done this to girls more than guys though. I have accidentally turned down or been accidentally mean. Did I tell you about that before?
What?
I made a girl cry.
I remember
once.
you
I told you
talking
this
about
story.
this.
Yeah,
I'm sure you
made
have.
the girl cry. She asked me on a date and I misinterpreted it and made her cry.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have gone on the date anyway. But yep,
I remember that.
that's a bummer. I did that to one guy. I remember but he was like stocky, so he didn't get it. I remember he stole my phone number from a friend in high school, and was it *67 or *69? The one that
69 to call back.
Yeah.
the one that blocks your number, the one that makes it like unreadable.
I don't know.
I think it was *67. It was back in the day. I don't think you do that anymore, but
No.
he *67'd me. So it came up on my cell phone as like not a thing, and he just sort of was there for a second, like hello. It's like, and he actually did have like the lisp and everything. So he's like, hello. I'm like, hi. Who's this? He's like, I'm gonna use his name. Fuck it. He says, is this Graham? Hi. What's up? Like I don't have this guy's number, and after a series of awkward pauses, he asked me to go like hang out, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not like, no, that's not." And I had to let him down, and I didn't. I was not prepared.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had a crush on me, and I didn't like. I'm just nice, so I wasn't gonna be a dick to him because he was gay. I didn't care.
Yeah.
So, and that was probably weird for the small school, so he maybe misinterpreted me.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
And so, yeah, and I was like, "Oh, buddy, no, sorry, bud." Didn't want to turn you down, and so he kind of got awkward after that. I hurt his feelings on accident. Didn't mean to. So I hurt Graham's feelings. Sorry, Graham. He had those glasses that were like yellow tinted because he was colorblind.
Yeah.
So that was always weird. It was always, I don't know. It was
Kick
like
him while he's down.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
Fuck your colorblind.
Okay, it was 12 years ago. If he's not over it and getting dong everywhere else. Like,
I'd like to think he has a little shrine to you. Somewhere.
Yeah.
The one that got away.
I'm saving myself for you, Jake! You'll come around! Hasn't talked to me since. Yeah. I hope not. I hope he lived a fruitful, dick-filled life.
That's all. That's the best any of us can hope for.
Dude, if I could wish one thing on him, it'd be that he got as much dick from as many people as he wanted and found the guy for him. Or just kept going. Who knows? I'm sure he's not dead. He was younger than me. I don't know why I'm talking about him as if he's long gone in ash.
I mean, he could be dead. You don't know.
He could be dead, but I think I would have heard about it. It was a small school.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about? Besides the time I accidentally made one of the only gay kids in our school feel uncomfortable because I was kind of an asshole in accident.
How the hell did we get here?
How the hell did we get here? What's a favorite pastime of yours?
I have way too many hobbies. Recently, scuba diving's actually been my go-to thing.
Scuba? So you go in Lake Michigan, or you got another spot?
Not Michigan too much because it's cold as ever-loving fuck.
Cold.
Yeah, feel it about 50 feet down if you want to talk about cold. Oh my god. But yeah, there's a bunch of like quarries and lakes nearby that are pretty nice. And I also went on a trip down to the Caribbean, which was amazing.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
I feel like the Caribbean has delicious blue drinks. Do you have a delicious blue drink?
See, as was previously alluded to, I'm kind of a liquor snob, and the only blue drinks we had were comped from the resort and were made with cheap,
Oh, so you went out and got that real rum.
Yeah, so I was just having, like, basically 2 fingers of rum, and everybody else was having those. I wasn't really into it.
Blue drinks, man. You gotta have one. Foofy drinks are underrated.
I did have a couple, but
That's
they
right.
were just...
With little
they're way too
umbrellas and
sweet.
pineapples and shit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta live it.
I was 10 miles from the island of Curacao, which is, where Curacao came from, that turns it blue.
The locals hate it.
Why?
But goddamn. Because tourists are assholes. I lived in Florida, spring breakers are just cunts.
Yeah.
And so I, like every day is spring break in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a bunch of cruises and white people and like fucks.
Yeah.
And like, oh, we want to take a picture next to your ethnic stuff. It's like they're Americans.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's.
Oh, these people weren't, which made it even more.
There's like a. Don't we own part of the Caribbean?
Well, this was Bonaire, which is part of the Netherlands technically, but all the people
course.
working at the resort were actually native from Bonaire, which was kind of interesting.
Nice. I'm glad the Netherlands got in on that imperialism and they snuck one in and they just kept it.
Yeah, I
the
literally had
Netherlands.
never even heard of that country until somebody asked me if I want to go on that trip. Like that.
That's cool.
Like hearing a very African-looking guy speak in Dutch is a really strange culture shock. I'm not gonna
so
lie.
they speak Dutch. That is interesting. So it is. So do they have like fucking like whalers there and shit?
Tropical cuckoo clock.
Here's a coconut. Also some whale blubber.
I would suspect probably not, because even like leaving garbage on the coral reef was grounds for deportation. So I'm assuming no. But
Yeah, I'm glad that they care about the coral reefs at least.
they do.
Not like those
definitely.
damn Australians.
Oh my god.
It's the Great Barrier Reef. You can't keep it clean. It's the only one.
It's a barrier, right?
You just got a
It's
big.
in the name.
It's got a big one. Barrier does not equal garbage can.
No,
how I
I know,
feel-
but that's what I'm saying. It's like important. It's there for something.
Oh,
right?
I see. Yeah, I feel like. I don't know. I feel that way about the Great Lakes too. Like they just get shit in sometimes. We're just like, hey, don't do that.
If Mad Max happens, that's the only thing we've got going for us is the surrounded by fresh water. Don't
Yeah.
fuck it up.
It's surprisingly
That's a
clean.
good point.
Me and the lady went to Lake Michigan last month for a little bit, and it's so clear.
Part of me kind of hopes nuclear war happens. Can you imagine how much our property price would spike if there was no
Oh,
clean
Lord.
water anywhere?
How clean do you think the water is on top of Lake Michigan?
I don't know, but
That's the best part.
Right. Well, it's got to be because all the stuff falls to the bottom. But like, it doesn't like when you hold it in your hand. It's not like it sometimes looks better than my tap water. So I'm wondering if like you could just take a bottle.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I didn't. I'm just saying
Yeah.
like average cleanliness of some like Country Bumpkins well water versus the top of the lake water just in a bottle. Who do you think's cleaner?
Definitely the well water because there's still
I would
filtration.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know what doesn't happen in like my well
Filtration.
water? Fish shitting in it. Like
The fish shit falls
There
to the bottom.
isn't an
You're not going
eco-
to get the fish shit necessarily.
there isn't an
I'm
ecosystem
worried about the
living.
urine
Okay,
because
whatever.
it would rise to the top.
There isn't an ecosystem in well water though, generally, and if there is, you kill
Well,
it.
there's
with.
certainly an ecosystem.
You know what I fucking mean.
Not fish, hopefully.
Not a complex, not just microbes.
The microbes are the tasty part. You don't know.
Anyway,
What's the grossest thing you've ever drank?
Oh, I have an easy answer for that.
Oh, bad. Bad
It
news.
was about half a cup of, you know, that really, really nasty pre-mixed Jose Cuervo margarita,
Yes.
like the strawberry shit.
Yeah.
It was 50% that, 50% Jägermeister.
That sounds terrible. Why would you do such a thing?
I was fucking drinking games are terrible,
Did you?
man. Don't
Did
look
you?
at me.
You grew up in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so you have 2 livers. It's fine.
yeah. I survived. I
You're
only
born with
puked a
that.
little,
Ugh.
but
trying to
that,
think of the grossest thing I ever drank.
ugh.
Ugh.
The drink I regretted the
It's
most,
not a drink, but I have another thing. Go ahead.
I think, is one time I got, because you know I like chocolate and I like.
Yeah. Oh, you got chocolate wine, didn't you?
No, the chocolate
Ew.
wine I've had, it's actually not as bad as it's not.
I've had the Godiva one time. I didn't like it.
I don't think it's good, but just a little bit, like a little tiny sip of it is
Sure.
fine. But no, I had this. It was essentially like a mixer or something. This was the dark times for
The
me
dark times.
when I was drinking way too much. Anyway, I had this mixer that was essentially like some kind of chocolate liqueur thing that you're supposed to mix with whatever, with milk, with fucking anything. I drank it fucking straight up and puked like you wouldn't believe. It was the worst.
Ugh.
So is that like a weird thing in Michigan? Because I'm not gonna lie, that kind of shit happens a lot in Wisconsin.
What? Puking from drinking so much?
Well, that too, but like being desperate in college and drinking whatever you can find under the cupboard.
No, I'm sure that happens all the time everywhere. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, that specifically for me was like...
Was that your wake-up call?
No, I went strong quite a bit after that.
Right,
but-
okay. Because you told me a puke story that you're like, okay, that's it.
Oh, I had quite a few. I was puking,
Well, I don't know.
like, on the reg.
Yeah.
Like, weekly. If I wasn't puking at least once a week from drinking too much.
That's
it was-
crazy to me.
Wow, I would not have expected that.
Yeah, he went
yeah.
hard for 6 months,
Yeah.
8 months.
Oh, no. Like a year.
Was it a whole year?
There's a reason I don't do it anymore,
Yeah.
man.
Because it's delicious, but it's not a drink. The worst thing I've ever. It's semi-liquid. We did spoonfuls of honey mustard, and I've never gagged without throwing up so much. Like I gagged like 7 times without actually like getting it out.
Worse than cat food?
Well, liquid. No,
Yeah.
the cat food's way worse.
Okay.
But I had way more mustard than I had
That makes sense.
that. But no, it was like this really cheap honey mustard.
Yeah.
And this sort of like honey mustard's good on something,
Yeah.
but alone, ooh,
Yeah.
it was just the worst. That was one of the things. The other one is peppermint schnapps. And it's not because I don't necessarily like it. It's because I feel like everyone who doesn't like peppermint schnapps hates it for the same reason, and it's because
they
it was
puked on
it. It was the last thing they drank before they puked.
Yep.
One time.
Yep.
That was at that party you were at, and I threw up. I had taken about 11 shots at that point, and I'm not a huge drinker, but I can handle it for quite some time. But it was my birthday, and there was tons of people over, so people were giving me shots. So I took shots. My buddy Richie comes and he's like, "Hey, I got you a present." And he holds up like an Aero brand plastic bottle, peppermint schnapps, and he pours me 200 proof schnapps things. I boom, knock them both back. Next thing I know, I'm playing beer pong with Dave. You know him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, are you gonna shoot?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
Wait, you like kind of blacked out and then you were there?
It was a brownout.
Okay, yeah.
It's the only time I've ever done this was this party, and then I was like, no, that's too many of those. So I browned out from that moment over to that.
Yeah.
And I remember one point in between the last shots of peppermint schnapps and that game.
Yeah.
Someone's like, "I want music," so I was like, "I got it," and I went and got my laptop.
Yeah.
And I opened it up and I was like, music! And I turned the music on, and then I was shooting in the middle of a beer pong game. And I was like, yeah, I'm shooting it. And I shot it. I'm really good at beer pong. I missed the whole table. And I was like, oh no. He's like, good fucking shot. Because Dave is very competitive and was mad at me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck off. And I started like stumbling, and directly in my eye line was a door, and I was like, I'm going out that door. And so I walk outside, and I walk down the steps, and I go, and I throw up everywhere, and then people are like, Jake's throwing up, and then they start following me, and then I'm like, I'm good, and I start throwing up again, and they start singing happy birthday to me. And that's my that was my wake-up call.
Yeah.
For drinking too much. Oh, do you partake in any other substances?
Like
Like
once
oregano?
in a great while,
Yeah.
I'll smoke, but
Sprinkled?
not regularly.
You're supposed to say that. You're
My
supposed to
dad's a
sprinkle.
massive pothead,
You're
and we
supposed-
go to a music festival
Nope.
every year. And
Just once, I want someone to be like, "Oh yeah, black tar heroin. That's what I'm into."
You know what? Honestly, I would respect it if they were like, yeah, I dabble in heroin every once in a while. It hasn't fucked me up. I have a job, so we're good. I'm a patron, so obviously it's fine.
That's a really brief window while you catch them before everything falls apart.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I've never tried it, but I've seen it. I've been offered it.
You've been offered heroin?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. It was
happens.
it was pre-cooked too, so it was all powdery.
Oh.
Yep.
Were you like, how do you
I'll tell you how I responded. No. No, I stared for a second, and then I walked outside. And left.
Yeah.
I was like, no, if the cops come, we're going to prison. Not just jail, but prison. Yeah. No, I was good. I was good. Offered Coke one time, too. Less of a reaction from me.
Yeah, sure.
Coke is like, haha, we're having a party, we're white. Heroin is like, we're gonna fucking do shit tonight.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, no, I'm good. Maybe E. In my like early teen years, well, not early teen years, but early like high school.
Yeah, I get you.
Working into college, I might have done it. I've never done it.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, my heart's gonna fucking stop. There's no fucking way I don't die from this. I got too much going on to just drop E. I had an ex-girlfriend whose sister did Molly a lot, which is just nice E, I guess. You ever done party drugs like that? Your mom's listening right now.
No, I was supposed to do mushrooms this last summer. It never happened. But...
Oh.
Ugh.
Yay or nay?
I don't know. I have a hard time
selling it to people because it's like
I can't in good conscience tell anyone to try it.
Yeah.
Because I've had a bad experience and it's so fundamentally bad and awful, like I couldn't have that on my conscience if that experience happened to someone else. Legitimately probably like the most uncomfortable I've ever felt in my life.
You know what? The most uncomfortable I've ever felt in my life was when you gave us those edibles.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, so but on the other hand, when it works and it's good,
it's real good.
It's real fucking good.
So I gotta ask, does it feel like you're high, or does it feel like you're fine and lucid, like everything's crazy?
It depends on what point in the trip you were at and how much you take.
Sure, but I mean, like, is it similar to other types of high, like inebriation and whatever, or is it so far apart you can't really describe?
The beginning part, I would say you're very much lucid, and it just more feels like your perceptions are altered. So
is it kind of like, you know, when you get like perfect high with weed, and you're like a private eye? You feel like you're keying in on all these secrets.
I don't get that. No,
you don't ever get that?
No.
Oh, I do. So does like everybody else that I talk to when they smoke. Okay, well, your brain is liquid, so that's fine. By the way, this kid gave me 100 milligram. Do you know how much weed that is? 100 milligram edibles.
Vaguely.
Okay, so
I know that's a lot.
I don't smoke a lot. I really don't. I probably at my peak twice a week. At my peak. So like it's not I don't really need to change my perceptions a lot to feel okay. But you have anxiety, so I understand why you would like try a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
So when I get like to the perfect level, because you know like there's that good level of drunk where you're just like, if I have one more drink, I'll be drunk.
Yeah.
Like drunk. But if I keep it here, I can coast for a while and like nurse this. And you can have like a really good night, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Easier said than done.
It is, but if you can do it, if you have the self-control, you can really ride that out. That's the kind of like high. So when you get high like that, and it's usually indica that does it to me.
Sure.
Because I don't like the mind race of
sativa.
It makes the back of my head warm.
Okay.
It's really weird. Like, I don't like it. Like that, you can sit there and you can watch something and like you kind of like zoom in on stupid details. I'm thinking it's like that at the beginning.
It's no.
No?
I can't.
I feel like I would hyper perceive things.
You would. It's hard to explain. I don't know how to explain it. I think you'd have a good time.
I probably would have one good time and then several bad if I kept going. I feel like my first time would be like, "Ooh, it's a bright new thing," and then the second time I would think to myself, "I don't want a bad trip. The first one was so good," and then I'd have one.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's It's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not big into drugs, but I do like trying new experiences, so it's still on my list.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think DMT's more my way to go. I hear that it lasts for less time, but feels like a lot longer.
The thing about mushrooms is, like, when you're doing, like, let's say you were smoking weed or something.
Sure.
This isn't necessarily true for edibles, I guess, but if you're smoking and you felt like, oh, I need to back off, you could stop and set it down and it would, like, start to
Oh, I see. That's like edibles too, yeah.
Mushrooms, once you take them, that's what you took. And, like,
Yeah.
as it's sort of like going, like, up on a roller coaster and you're like, oh.
How high does this go? But not being able to see the top.
Yeah, and you don't know how high it's going.
That's how it was. So we actually looked this up after.
Yeah.
My buddy Alex and I, we sometimes hang out and we might smoke together or whatever. And it's borderline legal here. It's medical legal here, and it's on the ballot in November.
Yeah.
And so like it's destigmatized here altogether. It's pretty great, even though I don't do it all the time. It's nice to have options, and it's usually high quality. Like we can go and get like vape stuff, and so it's like nice. It's not like the skunk weed you get from the trailer park, which we used to do in high school. So we sat there, and you gave us those edible. They were like push pops, and they were delicious. They were like just chocolatey yum-yums. Yep. And they didn't taste sweety or anything. They were just good. And so we just kind of sat there and ate those. And we had smoked a little bit beforehand. And he's like, nah, Hugo said it would be fun. I trust him. So
Don't trust me. Why would you ever trust me?
I know your tolerance is high, but it's not. It's not.
By the way,
it's not. You don't have a tolerance because you don't need one.
By the way, 2 days ago, I ate 200 and felt nothing.
It's nuts.
Jesus.
So Alex and I we looked this up after the fact. We actually overdosed.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't kill you. It probably could if you had like a heart condition or something. Maybe. Because the anxiety that it gives you is fucking nuts. But it felt like having a panic attack while your skin was on fire. It was fucking weird. And we were both like throwing up and we're like, why? Hugo, why? And so that was fun. I have not touched an edible since. But they are fun when you get the right amount. I think for me, 20-25 is perfect.
I don't get it.
That's about, if I had to put that in alcohol terms for a normal person, that'd be just past the nursing it to be drunk. That'd be drunk with a D.
Okay.
That's about where 25 gets me. What's the best drunk story? Do you have like a story like when you tell people like, oh man, I remember this drinking story. This is the one you tell your buddies.
So, fuck, there's a lot of them. College was crazy. The one that jumps to mind, and it might not come across as well if you don't know the people involved, but
sure.
I'll try. So, this was Halloween, and I was at college at UW Oshkosh, which the UW schools all have fucking drinking problems. So the bar is literally shoulder to shoulder. Like we had to force our way up to the bar. So we got there at about 10:30.
Are you in costumes right now? Because you said Halloween.
The guy I was with I had been working that night, and I just
just so I can visualize it. What was he wearing?
So he was wearing a Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory outfit.
Good call. That is, you know what? I was thinking like, oh, he's a vampire. He's Dexter's Laboratory. That's a deep cut. I like that.
And
I like
his
this guy.
Girlfriend, who is my cousin, was dressed up as Dee Dee.
That's a little creepy. They bang.
It was,
so...
but right. Shit happens.
That's not what you say when you fuck your sister.
Dee Dee!
What?
Oh, Dee Dee! You made me come!
Oh, God, I never even thought of it that way.
That's what I'm saying! Anyway, all right.
Wow, thanks for ruining this story.
Well,
all right.
No, I think you make it better.
So it was the three of us. We got to the bar around 10:30, and there was a sign up on the wall. It's, for women, $5 all you can drink. For men, $10 all you can drink. So,
that's sexist.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Sign me up. So, we got there 10:30. It took us till 11:15 to get a single drink.
$10 all you can drink. Was it just beer? Was it just like Bud Light or something?
It was
Miller Lite.
I think it was, yeah, just like domestic beer and rail mixers.
Rail?
So-
Explain that. What is a rail mixer?
Okay, so that must be a Wisconsin thing. That's so when you just ask, I want, vodka and orange juice, it's the cheap, awful bottle they pull from the bottom. Like it's
okay.
yeah.
We call that well here.
Yeah,
A
I've heard
well
that too.
mixer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So took us like 45 minutes to get a single drink, and they're in tiny ass little cups, so we were done in like 10 minutes, and we sat there and waited for another drink for like. Well, it must have been another 45 minutes because it was midnight, and the bartender finally got around to us and said, sorry, that special was only till midnight. It's, not the same day. We're not going to serve you
That's
anymore.
bullshit riot.
Yeah, so me and Dylan, the Dexter guy, my cousin had left by then, we're just like sitting around like, well, what the fuck do we do now? We just spent $10 on one single drink, and we were broke-ass college kids.
Right.
Like, we were fucking pissed. Then we realized we were sitting up at the bar right next to the beer taps, and there's
Oh.
like 600 people in this bar.
Oh, yeah.
Well, several hundred. And so every time they would turn around, we just decided to, get our
That
money's
isn't
worth.
stealing. You paid for that.
That's kind of how we felt.
In my
like,
opinion, you are correct here. That's bullshit.
yeah,
What bar
So-
fucking ends a promotion at midnight? What the fuck?
A shitty bar.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, that made me mad. But yeah, so we probably did that a dozen times, and we had a fan club at the bar of people who would see us from the other side of the bar when the bartender was serving them with their back
Solid.
turned to us. So we got absolutely hammered on sort of free beer. And then
Well, after like 3 beers, well, 2 beers really, but 3 definitely have paid for itself.
That's solidarity that no one at the bar was like, hey, those fuckers are stealing
Well, that's
drinks.
a beer. Yeah, no,
Respect.
fuck it.
yeah, everybody was totally into it. But so yeah, we got hammered for $10, which, a college bar isn't terrible. And we decided to walk down to Kelly's, which is this absolutely dingy, terrible bar down the road. And showed up, and the place closed like 10 minutes after we got there. I don't know what the hell that was about. I was pretty drunk at the time. So somehow it was devised that as a revenge for closing on us, we were going to steal a bunch of bar glasses.
Oh,
And I
no,
mean-
that is actual stealing.
Yeah.
Okay. You, at first you were Robin Hood. Now
Yeah,
you're just a
yeah.
thief.
I felt bad. Well, I didn't because Kelly's is a terrible place, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, so we ended up walking home with as many bar glasses as we could carry in our hands, which turned out to be like 12 between the two of
Do
us.
you still have them?
I think we still have like 1 or 2 of them.
That's amazing.
It's hard to say. I've moved like 8 times since then. But yeah, next morning, my cousin, who I mentioned was Dee Dee that night, was like, "What the hell did you guys do after I left? Like, did you have a bunch of people over? Like, there's a whole shitload of glasses out on the counter. Like, what the fuck did you do?" It took us until about 3 in the afternoon to put the pieces back together with a foggy memory of oh, we stole those. Like,
Did you put your red string up on the board and
I got-
track your movements?
I gotta imagine
Yeah.
drunk enough to forget stealing also means drunk enough to not be very coy while stealing. So they were like, let him go. We're not gonna fucking deal with this. We just want to close the goddamn bar.
Yeah.
I think it was we were outside in the beer garden area where the bartenders weren't really, so I think that's how we got away with it. Because otherwise I'm sure we were plainly obvious.
That's amazing. That's a good story.
That was a night. That was a fun night.
You ever stolen anything, Hugo?
Let me think about it.
Not like as a kid, you stole gum.
No, I know. I'm trying to think of as an adult if I've ever stolen anything.
I've been party to theft, but never actually stolen myself. My brother,
I stole a pizza once.
did you steal a whole pizza?
Yeah,
From a frozen pizza or a hot one?
frozen pizza.
The hot one's more impressive.
It was because I was doing one of those self checkouts, and
Did you steal it on purpose, or was it in the cart? Because if it's just in the cart and you forget, that's not stealing.
No.
I've done
Let
that.
me explain what happened.
Okay.
I was doing a self-checkout thing, and it does the weight thing. I was buying him 2 pizzas. It didn't detect the first pizza, and it was like, we need, like, put the thing in the basket.
Put the pizza on it.
And I was like, oh, I have 2 and they're
yeah.
the exact same weight, so then I put the second one on, and it was like, okay. And I was like, okay, free pizza. So it was more like an impromptu coupon. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Buy one, get one free.
That's
illegally.
That's definitely stealing. Like, I think
Yeah.
that's objectively stealing. But also, fuck that computer
I wa-
for always bitching
I was
at
buying
us.
like $100 worth of groceries. It's not like I wasn't, Not that makes
I
it
hope
right.
someone got fired over that, though.
It's not. It was like a Walmart situation, so...
Oh, Walmart doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was Meijer or something.
It was Meijer, but most people know what Walmart is, so...
Well,
I
he
said,
has... They're Meijer over there, right?
Yeah. In fact, the first one I've ever seen just moved into Green Bay like last spring or something.
Oh, it's nice.
It is pretty
Walmart
nice.
prices, but it's like... They don't let the sweatpants in or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
it's like
I
so much
don't know what
nicer
it is,
always.
but
It might be
it just-
location. They might actually scout location and be like, okay, here's the median income. It's poverty, but it's over that line wherever the Walmart is. So
No, maybe it's like a culture thing, though. Here, my theory on Walmart
you think it's
is...
a culture thing?
I think part of it is, and don't get me wrong, when you go into Walmarts, there are, of course,
There are some things. Well, it's always dirty in there. Like they don't give
I
a
know.
shit.
I think part of it's like Walmart's where we all go and we're not looking our best and don't want to try before we go to the store. You know what I mean? We're all collectively.
We all agreed. It's
I
a
think-
social contract.
I think we've all
Yeah.
sort of agreed. When you
Yeah.
go to Walmart, you can look like shit and it's fine.
Sure,
So
I'm with that.
As
It's
an-
like you can go to Taco Bell at 4 a.m. and eat third dinner.
right.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there are people who are like very like you go to Walmart and it's like this is a person who should be on peopleofwalmart.com or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
But
Always someone, some huge lady in something she couldn't fit in 10 years ago.
I know like when I go to Walmart, I'm like my standards are lower than
You
when
frump
I go.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, I can buy that. I can actually buy that.
Walmart is not a real place. It is a state of mind.
I think Walmart should steer into that shit and be like, Walmart, you can wear flip-flops and sweatpants, we don't give a shit.
Walmart shit in our floor. We'll clean it up eventually.
Yeah. It is always so dirty in Walmart, though. Like, there's like, they paid the people. I see them walk around, but they're not doing
No.
anything.
Walmart, you can probably steal. Our employees don't care. Let's just rewrite all of Walmart's slogans.
Do they have a slogan?
I don't know. Walmart. Fuck it.
Live life Walmarty. Do you go to Walmart? Are you a Walmart guy? It is cheap.
Yeah, once in a while. I try to go other places.
Where-
We just moved across the city, and there's not a Meijer over here, unfortunately, and Walmart's the only thing, so I'm kind of panicking a little bit, but we'll figure that out.
Now, I've been driving back past the Aldi recently. I've been considering returning to Aldi, but I don't eat a lot of frozen shit.
I haven't been to Aldi in a long time.
They make you pay for the cart.
Do you guys have
upfront.
Aldi's there?
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of them.
Real cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dollar
They serve
General.
their purpose.
When I was real poor,
Yeah.
real poor, Dollar General was where I went grocery shopping, dude.
I'm proud to say I never stooped that low, but
Well, I could. I remember the poorest I ever was. What we had to eat for the whole night was we had a single potato and a single serving of Spam that my mom got for me as a gag gift in a stocking like months before for Christmas. And I gotta say, it was good as fuck. Potato,
I will say
Spam,
I've never been
hash,
that poor.
not bad. I'd eat it today, and I don't even need to. It's good. Yeah,
I believe you.
it's weird. What's your favorite poor food?
favorite poor food.
Ramen is like one of those ubiquitous college people foods. Are you? You're
Yeah.
still in school, right? Is that?
No,
You're not?
I
You're out?
graduated a couple years ago.
Okay, so what do you do now?
I'm for lack of a better word, I build websites.
Oh, I like that. A lot of porn. That's a yes.
No,
Damn
we're a
it.
subcontractor for the federal government, so we keep the porn to a minimum.
we can't talk about it. So,
Marginally.
Is it like really boring stuff where it's like, we need you to build a database for our driver's license thing? Or is it like...
A lot of it's that. But
Yeah.
there are a few exciting things we do, but those are the things I can't talk about.
Beheading vids. I get it. It's fine.
I'm-
Do you have the P
that
tape? If
would
you have the
fall
P
under-
tape, leak it right now. We'll break it.
Trust me, I would have fallen on that sword by now.
Oh, we could have broken the news, but you didn't. All right. Well, if you get it, let us know first, and we'll Alex
I'll
Jones
keep you
this
in the
shit.
loop.
All right, if we find it, we'll let you know too.
Yeah. We'll
We'll all keep an eye out. Like we're just walking down the street, there's just a VHS tape sitting there. Oh, P-tape.
Okay, so instead of poor food, then what's your favorite? I'm programming food.
I'm programming food. So this is sort of a weird answer, but when I'm like actually sitting and working on something for long periods of time, I like having like just sunflower seeds because you don't have to keep them warm. And I'm also addicted to salty foods, so I just sit and snack on those all day.
I feel like the activity of cracking them open, spitting the shell, and getting the seed, that's good. Or do you just go without the shell?
I have them in the shell. Yeah, it is sort of a
it's
weird
like
kind of
therapeutic.
cathartic thing. Like it helps you focus a little bit.
I played baseball, and that was the thing because they wouldn't give us tobacco like a bunch of fascists. So yeah, that was my thing. I'm trying to think. Do you have like an editing food or like
Me? No.
You're more of a drink guy. You have like not Diet Coke, Coke Zero.
Yeah, when
That's
I'm
your
editing,
thing.
I'm editing and I don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Generally, I get too distracted.
Well, I have to stand up or I could lose my mind.
Yeah.
So I usually stand up and walk around. Yeah, I don't really have a go-to either. I'm trying to think. Do I have any actual like rituals that I do? You have like a ritual? Either of you?
In what capacity?
I don't know. Like some people like every single day you do a thing with your hair, or you brush your teeth in the same exact way, or you I don't know. Like you do a thing. Do you talk positively into the mirror?
Unfortunately, I am like incapable of forming habits ever, so I can't say I have any real rituals.
I'm good at forming vices, not constructive
Yeah.
rituals.
Right? Right? That's usually how that works.
Yeah. What a bummer. What a bummer. Okay, so we have to find something to leave on. We have to get our big stinger at the end to make them come back.
Lordy.
How do we do that?
I don't know. My butt hurts
Your butt hurts?
Wow.
from sitting too long. Ugh.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We recorded before this as well.
Yeah.
We're hardworking young men. Okay, what's the least dignified thing you've ever done for money?
This show.
Least dignified for money.
Yeah,
Wow.
like maybe it could be a bet too. Like eat this and I'll give you $10. Anything where your dignity was like put in question, you're like, fuck it, I'll take that $10.
Butter nipples for me.
Butter nipples might be the pinnacle.
Yeah,
was
I
for-
can't beat that for sure.
In fairness, it was kids with cancer that I was doing it for, so it's okay.
I ate a dog treat in a bet with my brother, and he to this day has not paid me.
See, this is a tough one for me because I'm usually really stubborn about that sort of a thing. Like, you're not going to pay me to make an ass of myself, but I've paid other people to make asses of themselves.
Okay, I'll go with that. That's fine. I'm good with that.
So, the one that got at least the best reaction at the time was in high school, and my buddy Leo's a great guy, but he's real dumb. And I bet him $10 he wouldn't take this little candy cane he had at that moment and crush it up and wait for the lunch lady to come by and snort it off the table like it was cocaine. And he did it
Ow.
and proceeded to scream at the top of his lungs because he didn't realize that, oh, hey, this is probably going to burn like hell. And so not only did she think that he had just snorted cocaine off the table, but he was also in pain. And it created quite a ruckus.
white?
Yeah.
It wasn't red at all?
No, it was like, I want to say it was one of those that has just a little tiny bit of red in it, so if you weren't like right up next to it, you couldn't see it.
Interesting. That I was gonna end on the cocaine story, but I gotta tell you one more story now because you reminded me of a thing. I was not actually party to this, which I'm kind of sad about because it's amazing. It's an amazing bit to do for a whole year. So senior year, I have to back up a little bit. So in high school we had Bob. Bob was the janitor. Bob was a well-respected member of the faculty that all of us loved. but also Bob was a curmudgeon, which made Bob amazing. So Bob
Like
was
every school has
Bob
one of
had
those.
like tenure at the school, so he was making bank doing the janitor shit.
Sure.
So he didn't give a fuck. He couldn't be fired. So he's famous for he really came out of a shell. Let's say he was a late bloomer. When he finally bloomed was like 5 or 6 years before we got into high school. And this is when his legend started to form. One of my friends, Seth, his older brother, had asked Bob several years before, Bob, what's the meaning of life? And Bob took a moment, paused, grabbed a tray, because he would walk around with a trash can. He grabbed a tray and dumped the trash in the trash can and put the tray back. We'd put the trays back. So he did that. He picked up the tray, dumped it, put it back next to him, and he goes, I don't know, I just clean up after you cocksuckers. And then he walked away. And so that was like, when we get to high school, we get Bob that says cocksuckers. That's the guy. We get Bob that says that to us.
Okay.
So, and I don't think any of the faculty knew outside of us, because it was kind of like, ooh, don't tell, he'll get in trouble. We want him to say the crazy shit.
Yeah.
So, he didn't actually end up saying anything like super crazy when I was in high school, but by senior year, we had all gotten a rapport with him, and we started playing the banana game. The banana game is where this kid, Eric, he would have a banana every day for lunch. In his lunch, he made sure to pack a banana. When he was done with that banana, he would keep the peel. When Bob would walk around, there was a game. If he threw the banana peel and Bob stepped on the banana peel, he would have to clean up the whole table, because it was a big circular table where a bunch of, like, probably a dozen kids could sit around and eat.
Okay.
But if he didn't, Eric had to clean it up. That was he got to play the banana game if the terms were met. And weeks, months go by, almost the entire year goes by, and he doesn't step on the banana, right? So, one of the last days of school, we're just about to get let out because we're seniors. It's like May, and they do the most brilliant thing ever. Another person gets a banana.
Oh.
They throw the first banana. He steps around the banana and goes, ha! And then there's another banana, and he steps on that one, and they go, ha! We gotcha! And he goes, clean it up anyways. And then he walked away. Yeah, it was great. And then at the end of the senior year, because he was a big Michigan fan, they got him a blue and yellow. They stole his trash can, and for a week he couldn't find his trash can. And he was like, someone stole the fucking trash can. They brought it back. They had gotten it custom painted. I think they talked to the principal about it. Custom painted with like really nice big M, blue and yellow and stuff. It was really cool. It got presented to him at our graduation.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucking amazing.
It'd be funny if he was super jaded about his job. He's like, these fucking kids. Fucking trash can. Fuck you.
Yeah. He liked it. He thought it was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was cool. So anyway, thank you for coming to hang out with us, Sam. Thank you for talking about making your mom cry.
Yeah, it was good to actually talk to you guys.
Yeah, it was a good time, and I'm sorry about your alcoholism, but you're Wisconsin. That's just how it's going to have to be.
Yeah, I'm on top of it.
Anything else you want to do? Any message you want to say to the viewers?
To the viewers? No, fuck those guys. Most of them are assholes.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. You said it for me. Oh, okay. So, thanks.
I shouldn't have said that because I enjoy seeing you argue with them on Twitter, so I should have kept my mouth shut.
You know, a lot of those people aren't actually our viewers, but they hate follow me online because they like to be wrong a lot, and it's just so weird.
Some people like the punishment.
I don't know. People should be right more often. It's easier.
No kidding.
Anyway, thanks for coming to hang out. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
All right.
You have good work.
You have a wonderful evening, and thank you for your patronage. You will get a picture of Paul in the mail shortly. I'm not kidding. That's happening. It's on its way. I sent it yesterday.
That's so. Yeah. As a small rabbit trail, you guys were supposed to send me something that I won at the end of a live stream.
DM me because we lost that mail. We lost it. So DM me in the Twitter because I'll definitely look at it. and I will send you something.
All right, excellent. I was wondering about that.
because I forgot who it was, so I'm glad it was you, because I didn't know until you just said that. But I lost that letter. We had it, and we had it set out, and I think it just got mixed up with our mail that we threw out or something. And so I've been looking for that fucking thing forever. But we have some stuff here. We're gonna do another unboxing soon. Tomorrow, maybe Friday, somewhere in there. So yeah, tomorrow.
Awesome.
So show up tomorrow. You'll get something from that unboxing.
Will do.
All right. I love you deeply.
Same.
Bye, Steve.
Talk to you later. Bye.